Ingram. Democratic governors seem to be trying to top one another, flouting immigration law and aiming to antagonizing President Trump. Their latest craze granting pardons to immigrants convicted of crimes to try to save them from deportation. California Governor Jerry Brown pardoned 2 on Saturday, and now New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is following suit, pardoning 18 immigrants convicted of crimes. Joining me to debate the wisdom of these pardons are Democratic strategist Jose Aristimuño and constitutional law professor John Eastman of Chapman College in Los Angeles, California. Gentlemen, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us here. Jose, I want to start with you. Help me understand the rationale. We're talking about people that are the criminal element, people involved in gangs, people that are committing crimes. Why are people bending over backwards to make sure that they stay here instead of saying, look, I understand the fight for what you want to do with Dreamers and others, but the criminal element, isn't that something that Republicans, Democrats, everybody on the political spectrum can agree those are the people that should not be in the United States?
Look, I think one thing we ought to sort of take a close look at is this. If you're an immigrant if you're an undocumented immigrant who've committed high level crimes, we want you out of this country, okay? If you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, we want you out of this country. Now, these 18 people who the governor of New York just pardoned are people who've committed, first and foremost, low-level offenses. They've committed crimes over 10 years ago, and they have now been able to sort of reinstate themselves into society. What these governors are doing, Jason...
But they reinstated themselves into the country, and they committed crimes. And what I don't understand is we're not talking about a petty, oh, I accidentally jaywalked, or I was going 45 and a 35. These are crimes against other people in which they're convicted.
We're a compassionate country. The symbol of the United States has always been the Statue of Liberty, not a border wall that our current president's trying to sort of amplify. If we want to fix this for once and for all, we need to pass immigration reform. That includes securing the country, but also providing a path to citizenship for the millions of immigrants who all they want is to pay allegiance to our flag.
All right, Professor, you've heard this argument. You've heard it before. What is the other side of that says, no, we should not be prioritizing what's going on with people who are there committing crimes?
That's right. These folks were already on a path to citizenship, and they blew it. They committed crimes. There's a list of crimes that if you commit, it makes you deportable, even if you were otherwise lawfully present in the United States. Things like human trafficking and drugs and weapons charges, sexual assault and battery, and a number of these crimes, even if you get the pardon, you're still deportable. And that's what's the most interesting part of this story that's largely gone unremarked so far, is the folks that Governor Brown pardoned and Governor Cuomo pardoned yesterday. None of them, as far as I can tell, are eligible to be removed from the deportation procedures because of the pardon, because they committed crimes that were not eligible for the pardon exception.
So let's make sure we got this crystal clear. You can get a pardon from a governor, but that doesn't excuse you from federal deportation, right? The governors don't have a say in that, do they?
It does on a couple of crimes. The federal statute sets out a couple of crimes where the pardon will block the deportation. But from the information I've been able to gather over the last day, the individuals that Governor Brown and Governor Cuomo pardoned do not fit those crimes. They've engaged in other crimes, carjacking and drug offenses and gun offenses, and one of them even facilitating human trafficking. Those are not the kind of crimes that when you get pardoned from, that they take you out of the deportation system. So these folks are still eligible for deportation, which means that these two governors are just showboating to try and make a